Today we're going to check out the ROK Presso Smartshot, a completely manual espresso machine that's possibly one of the easiest to use in its segment, and really one of the cheapest as well. I kind of want to say it's not going to be for most of the people who are going to watch this video. Let me explain. The most of you are watching this video and thinking that we're going to talk about ratios and grind size and all of that stuff. But the Presso Smartshot isn't made for that. If you're after really the god shots that you want to get, this isn't really the machine for you. The ROK commercial, which I've done a video on, you can find it in the description. There's a little eye up there as well. You can take you to that video. That is the machine for you. The Smartshot is more going to take care of things on its own. So let's go around the machine because it's really, really very clever. Probably cleverer than the other ROK machines. So, as per standard, we've got the portafilter, which on a ROK goes around backwards. Stainless steel portafilter. Now, the magic of this machine is it's a pressurized or dual wall basket. Now, this means that I don't have to be super precise on my grind size, or I can even use pre-ground coffee that I bought in the supermarket or from a roastery or whatever online. And this will actually kind of correct the extraction to have something nice in cup, no matter what the precision of the grind size is. So that's what I mean. It's a machine that is made for people who don't necessarily have a grinder, who are not looking for this perfect ratio god shot 9-bar extraction. This filter is really quite cool. Stainless steel, like the portafilter. So as a pressurized filter, lots of holes coffee side, and then one single hole on the liquid coming out side. And that means between the two, there's a pressure chamber. And this pressure chamber is what will generate the kind of crema foam on top of the coffee. It's not exactly a crema. It's not a foam like an espresso extraction. It's between the two. And you'll see it in a minute when I take a shot, but it's really quite cool. And of course, as you can see on the portafilter, you've got this wonderful ROK handle with the logo pattern in. The rest of the machine is different materials. I'll talk about that in a second, but the wood handle is really, really cool. ROK also gives in the box 2 accessories, which are the dual spout edition, so you can clip it onto the end of the portafilter like that to fill up 2 cups, but realistically, you're making cup by cup, so this is kind of pointless. And you get the spoon scraper combination. Now, I say spoon scraper because the spoon does exactly the right dose for the portafilter, and the end of it is made to level off, not really tamp, but level off the coffee when it's in. And on the other side, because it's a pressurized portafilter, the puck is going to be slightly damp, so you're going to use the other side to kind of scrape out at the end. Very ecologically friendly, of course, because it's using pre-ground coffee that can go straight into the composting bin. But again, it's a really nice addition that they thought of this because on a pressurized filter, it's often what's annoying. Talk about the machine itself. The machine is really, really clever. The main base of the machine is made out of composite glass plastic material, which is really, really, really solid. And then the arms are made out of aluminium and stainless steel. And what's cool about the Smartshot, if you've seen any of our other videos on the ROKs, they work by the same process, which is I lift up the arms and then I push them down to generate pressure. But on this machine, pushing down on the arms is actually just transferring my force into these springs which are on the side, which are calibrated to push through the right amount of pressure for my coffee in the portafilter. And it's really, really clever. The amount of engineering that it would have taken to get these springs right and so that they last over time is amazing. And the body and the water chamber is made out of this really, really strong, specially designed plastic that ROK literally had to go and design themselves. So we've got a really, really nice diffusion of temperature as it's going through the shot, and the body is going to last. This thing is really, really, really solid and relatively light as well. So there's not really any problem to put it in your bag, take it on holiday, take it on an airplane. Now what I suggest is I get out the kettle, I pull a shot, and so you can see what's going on. I've got my kettle, which I have set to 98 degrees. Now, like always on a fully manual machine, always a little bit warmer than I need it to be, just so I can heat things up. I've got my coffee, which is the Black Mountains from Cafe Lugger, which I pre-ground just a few minutes ago. Having freshly ground coffee will always taste nicer than the pre-ground that you are buying. So I highly suggest that you buy a grinder, but as this machine is really made for pre-ground, I thought I'd pre-grind some before. And basically we're gonna start our shot. So, portafilter, my spoon. I am going to almost fill up my spoon, level down, slightly push down. Really, the Smartshot is letting the machine do everything for you. And you'll see what I mean in a moment. Chuck the portafilter on, fill up the reservoir that's at the top of the machine. I lift up the arms slowly so that the water can actually go into the chamber. Place my cup and push all the way down. Now the thing about the Smartshot is I don't have to worry about the speed I'm pushing down or anything like that. I can just use the maximum amount of my massive muscle power and let the springs take care of the rest on its own. And as you saw, the springs are pulling it down on its own at the right speed, and I'm getting a shot at the end, which is just fantastic. It'll take a little bit more time to pull through because of course it's now managing that pressurized filter. So I'm not worrying about time, I'm not worrying about ratios, I'm not worrying about grind size and any of that, because the pressurized filter is managing all of that for me. So all I have to do is make sure I've got hot water, some pre-ground coffee, and I'm good. And I've got an extraction. Slight problem about pressurized filter is it will drip at the end. I've got an extraction which looks fantastic. Look at that. Now it's a crema mousse that's on the top, but still, that's really good. To show you the puck at the end, because it's important to know. So my puck at the end is a little bit damp. I've got the impressions on it, and I won't be able to straight up knock it out. I really do, because it's a pressurized filter, I really do need to come with the knife that's at the end of the spoon, pull it all out. That is heading towards our flower compost behind the studio, and a little clean, and I am off to do another shot. So that's its extraction, which you can see is really quite good. Now, what's fun about this machine, and the reason that the more geeky amongst you may actually be interested in it, is really that you can put anything in the water chamber. If you want to do an extraction of an espresso tonic by pouring tonic into the chamber and pulling the tonic through the coffee, you can do that. Espresso Coke, all sorts of things, and you can kind of use it as a kind of coffee cocktail maker. Now, we did some trials which we put up on the screen here. Some of them were really quite nice, but for making normal coffee, it's a great machine for people on the go, because like I say, you can chuck it in the boot of the car, pull a coffee with just hot water and some pre-ground, which is excellent. It's great for those of you who are looking to get out of capsules and to have a nice cup of coffee that's easy to do without having to worry about pressure management, anything like that. It's great. If you are more into the God shot type of espresso, this isn't necessarily the machine for you. Look at, like I said earlier, the ROK Presso GC, which again in the description, a little eye in the corner. But a really special machine that's got excellent engineering on it. Well done, ROK, for this machine. For you, I will tell you, I will see you next time. Until then, have a nice coffee.